Welcome everyone. My name is Gayle and this is going to be a quick 10-minute practice where we're going to stretch out our legs front and back. That actually affects your whole body because we're one continuous, blending of fascia and nerves and blood vessels. So we're all continuous. So stretching out the legs will have a big impact on your whole body. And we tend to sit too much, so this is going to be really great and help you to feel better and be really healthy for your whole body. So let's start by closing our eyes. And let your shoulders relax down your back. But most importantly, feel your breath moving deep inside of you. Feel that pulsing energy as you inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose. Nice. Now open your eyes and let's come onto our hands and knees in tabletop. I want to warm up the muscles a little bit first before we stretch them. So stretch your right leg out, push into your big toe mound, float your left knee off the floor, just a little bit to hover. Keep that energy, that uplifting energy as you lower your knee down, float your right leg up and float your left arm forward. Reach out through your fingers and your toes. And bend your elbow and your knee, bringing your knee out to your side, your elbow out to your side. And straighten and stretch. And bend and hug in. One more time. Straighten and stretch. Hug it in. Lower your left hand down. Straighten your right leg, bringing your foot to the floor. And start to circle around. Nice, slow, easy circles. You can lift your toes up and try and point your toes. Try to touch your toes to the ground and then pull your toes back. You could internally and externally rotate your hip. And you could roll toward the outside edge of your foot and then roll toward the inside edge of your foot. And pick your knee up, hug your knee into your chest, lift up really high and stretch your leg back, this time letting your back arch. Lower your knee down. Same thing with the left side. So push your left big toe on into the floor. Just hover your right leg off the floor a little bit. Lower it back down. Float your left leg up. Float your right arm forward. Reach out through your fingers and your toes. And bend your elbow and your knee. Open your knee out to the side, your elbow out to the side. And stretch forward, out to the side. And stretch forward and back again. Again, out to the side. Stretch forward and back. Lower your right hand down. Swing your left leg out to the side. And start to glide forward and back. You could lift your toes up and try and point your toes. Maybe try and stretch your toes to the floor and pull them back. Internally and externally rotate your hip. And then invert and evert your ankle. Good. Step back into your tabletop. Walk your knees back. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. And then bend one knee at a time as you stretch the opposite heel to the floor. And switch sides. Moving slowly back and forth. Feel that nice stretch in your calf. And your next inhale, sweep your right leg up. Reach it high. Reach high through your toes. So you stretch out from your hips all the way to your toes, and then hug your knee, your heel to your hip. Pull your knee into your chest, straighten your leg, stepping your foot forward, and start to rock back and forth. Moving your front foot and your back foot. You could even try keeping the whole foot down on the front and the back and just doing a little bit of cat-cow action with your pelvis. And shift your weight into your right foot. Press down through your foot and your hands reach your leg up. Bow over your leg. Good, lower your back foot down again. Shift your hips back. And turn your back heel in, your back toes out a little bit at about a 30 to 45 degree angle. Stretch your right knee forward and come on up, warrior one. Think of like there's a little dance, like you're trying to reach back through your back heel and you're trying to stretch forward through your front knee. That should give you a wonderful stretch in the back of your calf. So just play with it. You can think of pulling your right hip back a little bit, pressing. Notice if your foot's caving in, your back foot's caving in, and just kind of press a little bit more toward the outside of your heel. And lower your hands back down, lift your back heel up, turn your toes out to the side and straighten your front leg. Tuck your right hip underneath you. So instead of it winging out to the side, it kind of comes underneath. You can use a block underneath your right hand. Squeeze your legs towards each other. Push into the floor. Open up through your shoulder. Reach your arm up. And bring your hand back down and step back into down dog. On your next inhale, sweep your left leg up. Pull your knee into your chest, step your foot all the way forward. Step into your front foot, reach your leg up. And just keep reaching it toward the sky. And lower your foot down, rock back and forth between your front foot and your back foot. You can play with the distance between your 2 feet. Notice the difference if you hug your hip in versus if you let it go out to the side. So you could initially just kind of warm it up going from side to side. Then hop the back foot in a little bit, turn the toes out slightly, root down through your back heel, and then drive your left knee forward. Pull this left hip in and rise up. So again, it's like you could, if you wanted to, you could straighten your front leg to get weight in your heel. Notice what that feels like. Keep that as you reach your knee forward. Try and square your hips toward the front of the room, but you don't want to feel like you're hurting your knee at all. So make sure your toes are facing forward enough that you don't hurt your knee. So listen to your body. Just sink a little deeper. Nice, slow your hands down. Turn your toes out to the side, straighten your front leg for triangle pose. So again, we want this hip pulled underneath us and twist open into your triangle. Keep your legs strong and reach from your feet up into your hips and from your hips down into your feet. And from your fingers on your left hand up to the fingers on your right hand. Bring your hand back down again. Step back into your down dog. On your next inhale, sweep your right leg up. And on your exhale, step it forward again. Lower your left knee to the ground. Bring your left hand out a little wider than your shoulders. Bend your left knee. Reach your arm back for your left foot. And gently pull your heel in towards your hip. Twist open to your right. Maybe find a little back bend if you can. And just play with the stretch on the front of your leg. And release your foot. And step your right foot a little more forward, your left knee a little more back. Keep the hips square and just play with going towards a split, wherever you're at. Don't expect to get down to the floor and don't force it. Keep your muscles hugging in, so you've got a hugging toward the midline. Your legs are active, they're not passive. You're not just flopping into this stretch. You're kind of squeezing your way into it. Good. And come on back. Oops. Into your down dog. On your next inhale, sweep your left leg up. Step your foot all the way forward. Lower your right knee down. Bend your right knee, reach back for your right foot. Just gently draw your heel in towards your hip, open up through the chest. Puff up into your chest so you find a little back bend. Good, release your foot. And maybe we'll, just see if we can go towards a split. So the front heel hugs back. The back hip comes a little forward. And then just gradually keeping that energy, that contraction of your muscles, so the muscles are engaged as you slowly sink your hips down. Just a couple more breaths here. Remember, come out sooner if you want. If something starts to get painful, you know that you have to back off. We really have to be honest with ourselves. Sometimes that honesty means pushing a little further, but oftentimes it means holding back. Especially if you're hypermobile, this is something you don't want to you want to not go as far as you could. So if splits are easy for you, back off a little bit. If splits are hard for you, back off a little bit. So always remember to be present in the moment. And push into your hands, bring your foot back, step back into your down dog. One more nice long stretch through your whole back body. And walk your feet forward and come into a squat. So because we sit so much, squatting is difficult for a lot of people. But with practice, it should get easier and easier. Even if you never get your heels all the way to the floor, at least you want to be able to get low to the ground. And so it would be a really nice practice habit to every day at least sit on the floor once and get up from the floor. Because you know that saying, move it or lose it. It's so true. And slowly lower your hips down. Come all the way down. Hug your knees into your chest. Then open the knees a little wide and come on into happy baby. Gently rock from side to side. Release your feet and stretch out for a very brief savasana. If you have time, stay longer. Without rest, we don't get the same benefits. If you work too hard and don't rest, don't give your body time to recover and recuperate, you're not doing yourself a favor. Matter of fact, a lot of that effort is, you could even say it's wasted. So we'll just stay here a little bit longer, enjoying this savasana, this very important part of our practice. Let's see if you can completely let go. Just a couple more breaths here. You can stay as long as you like. Otherwise, bend your knees, gently roll to your side. And just pause for a moment to feel the transition as we move from our practice, our focused practice, to coming back to the rest of our day or evening. So slowly come on up. to a comfortable seat. Close your eyes and just take a moment to notice how you feel from the beginning of our practice. Just 10 minutes or so. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you feel great. I hope you feel this whole body sense of being invigorated and just being more alive and more present. Please leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you, and tell your friends. Hit the like and subscribe, a notification as well, and hope to see you soon. Bye.